sorry, that's for a Democrat show.
Let me know when you're ready.
No matter what the technical difficulty is, this man is a professional. He goes all the way.
What you represent to them is freedom.
Was an extremely great conservative commentator. We're tearing it up on Wednesday night. This is awesome. This
will allow me to retort.
Well, this is Jersey Joe for the Reaver of Common Sense show. 8 p.m. on shrmedia.com.
Actually, I just totally screwed up. This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back. Well, not back. Well, kind of back. Welcome to the Reaver of Common Sense show. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm making sense out of the senseless. The Jersey Takeover's here. We have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you want to watch a broadcast of the show, I made it very easy. You just go to Reaver.one, click on the live stream. While you're there, you can join the live chat. Become part of the show. If you want to support the show and support SHR Media, go to Reaver.one/shop. That is REAVER.ONE/SHOP. Go ahead and get yourself a kick-ass t-shirt. Well, seems like, and I don't know where the hell the heads, well, the minds of these idiots are coming from. Oh, dang it. They know there was a major backlash from Hillary's deplorable comment. And there's, from what I found, 3 major papers. They're doubling down on the comment. No, not just papers. We also have Tim Kaine, the vice president, really trying to, and I don't understand his comments, which we'll get to in a minute. It's stupid. Because it's going right back on Hillary. If I was them, I'd shut the fuck up on it. Really, it's going back onto Hillary. It's almost like even these papers are trying to sabotage her campaign. You have New York Daily News. Almost all of Trump supporters belong in the baskets of deplorable. And even, this writer, James Kurtchik, writes that Hillary Clinton was wrong to claim only half of Donald Trump's supporters belong in a basket of deplorable as racist, sexist, homophobic, xenophobic, Islamophobic. It's closer to 100%. Talk about being a fucking bigot. I'm getting tired of this shit with the left. Listen, if I disagree with you, go ahead. I might tell you I disagree with you. I might tell you why you're wrong. You have every right to have your opinion. And I say it on Twitter all the time. You have the right. Someone told me my point of view has not changed your mind. Good. I don't give a shit. I wasn't trying to change your mind. If I change somebody's mind with facts, great. If not, oh well. But these on the left, if you do not fall in line like a good little fucking Nazi SS bastard, they are going to attack you and label you. Well, I, for one, am starting to get sick and tired of this shit. It was funny at first, but now they want to double down and they want to keep it going. The ones that are causing the majority of the problem are cocksuckers like this fucker. And yes, I am hot right now because this is pissing me the hell off. I'm getting tired of this shit from the left. Every time you disagree, all you hear is you're racist and all this other shit. Hillary went way off base. She even did a half-ass apology. The Twitter, social media, lit her up like no tomorrow. There's people on the left that even said it was uncalled for. But this idiot, just because you are practicing your God-given constitutional right to support who you want, they're going to attack you like that. It just... You have Washington Post, Dana Milbank. Hillary is right. Half of Trump supporters are racist. This is coming from the party of racism. This is coming from the party that enslaved blacks. This is from the party that fought every type of freedom movement in the history of the United States. This is the party that had a KKK senator all the way up to 2010. He was a grand wizard at one time. He was a recruiter for the KKK. Hillary was hugging and kissing all over him. No wonder they got to point the fingers at everybody else, because if not, everybody would see their racism. It is just sickening. Thought I had it. The little video speech where she called Robert Byrd, Grand Master, Grand Wizard, whatever the frig the KKK call themselves, her mentor, the heart of the Democratic Senate. These little mindless drones just do what they're told and write what they're told. And I, for one, am sick and goddamn tired of it. First, I thought it was a joke. That showed desperation. I mean, it still shows desperation, but it isn't enough. It is... I can't even come up with enough words, adjectives to cover this. And it's not that it keeps going from here. I mean, but Trump was speaking at the National Guard Association of the United States annual conference Monday afternoon, proclaimed himself deeply shocked, alarmed about Clinton putting half of his supporters in baskets of deplorable, as if anybody, especially Trump, could be shocked by anything this late in the campaign. How dare she, Trump said, attack, slander, smear, demean these wonderful, amazing people. And that's the biggest thing. They are going after the supporters now to try to make us distance ourselves because people are flocking to them, and Hillary is floundering. Because if she wasn't floundering, she wouldn't be needing to do any of these stunts. She keeps saying she's not going to do personal attacks. She's going to run a clean campaign, and she's yet to do it. All she's done is attack. She's been a goddamn pit bull since day one. And she sits there and points the finger about Trump being the one that's being mean and nasty and name-calling. That's all that witch does. That's all the left does. They're not talking about the jobless rate. They're not talking about the shit economy. They're not talking about our weak national defense. No, they don't want to talk about how they destroyed everything that was great about this country. They just want to attack Trump. And it seems like they're trying to do a 2010 all over again, like they did to the Tea Party. And that's all they have. Oh my God, we can't talk about anything. Racist! Racist! That's all these friggin' idiots do anymore. Uh-oh, we're going to lose this election because we've screwed the country up. Racism, 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 racism. And the idiots on the left that just, they said they're racist, oh, they're racist. The party that gave you the KKK, the party that fought slavery, the party that fought the civil rights movement, the party that fought women's suffrage. The list keeps going on, what the Democrats have done. And then they have to come up with these falsehoods. Oh, there was a big party switch. It was like 4 fucking senators from the Democrat left and went to the Republican because they had a misconception of what was going on. You have MSNBC Scarborough, Joe Scarborough, that flaming idiot. Strategic may eventually be onto something. Past Tuesday on MSNBC's Morning Joe, host Joe Scarborough suggested that Democrat presidential nominee Hillary Clinton's remark regarding her opponent's Republican presidential nominee Donald Trump being a basket of deplorable may have some truth to it. They're trying to keep this alive to try to hurt Trump. They're trying to get people to back away. They figure I don't know what the hell they're thinking. Hillary got lambasted for this goddamn comment. People were going after her left, right, and center. She had to backtrack on it. So now the media is going after it. All it's going to do is cause more problems for Hillary. I'm sick of it. According to Scarborough, Clinton's comment may have been purposefully strategic and explained why he thought so, citing polling data about what Trump supporters believe. I said this at the end of the day could be strategic. Trump always does this. He makes a controversial statement, right? It's everybody's talking about Trump. And it usually gets people talking about Trump on his territory. And so at the Paris, he'll say something outrageous. Barack Obama may have known something about this. Everybody is outraged, but people are saying, but what, we're talking about terrorism for a week or two. And he thinks that's his strong suit. Here she says half of the supporters are deplorable, and she apologized. Never apologized. They keep saying she did. She never apologized. She said she regretted making that statement. In fact, she regretted saying half. But she didn't really apologize. People keep talking about it, and what it forces everybody to do is talk about it, and let's look at who is supporting Donald Trump. And we have the polls from yesterday, and the polls from yesterday showed certainly the last time these polls were taken in the primaries, Mike, it shows an outrageous number of Trump supporters support a Muslim ban, support a national database. It is not a permanent ban. If it wasn't for misinformation, they wouldn't report shit. If you're a Muslim, you'll have to check in, I guess. I don't know. Instead of the Star of David, maybe they put another patch on you. Hey, Scarborough, jackass, how about this? You start housing all these possible terrorism in your neighborhood, because they're not going in your fucking neighborhood where they can kill your family. Your family's pretty safe. I mean, I'm sick of that. They have no problem endangering everybody else's lives. Because these cocksuckers are sitting behind walls, protected. An outrageous number actually said they wanted to make Islam illegal in the United States. I've seen those polls. And there was a decent amount of Democrats that talked about that. And it was a question. It had nothing to do with Trump's campaign. And he says that it's deplorable that you want to ban a religion from the United States because you don't understand it. Well, I understand it very well. I understand that there's an extreme version of it going on where they're killing people, where they're cutting people's heads off. And let me tell you, if Christians were doing that nowadays, I'm not talking any time in 1,000 years past, 2,000 years past. I'm talking modern time. I would be calling for a ban on Christianity. If the Jewish religion was cutting people's heads off, I'd be calling for a ban on the Jewish religion. I don't care what the religion is. If you're killing innocent people, cutting their heads off, there's no place for it. And I can't understand how the left is trying to protect people that are killing people. MSNBC Joe Scarborough is trying to protect murderers. Terrorists. That is what he is standing up for. He is not standing up for the innocent. He's not standing up for the victims. He is standing up for the murderers. He is standing up for ISIS. I might start screaming even worse in a second. I just was in the process of updating my iPhone to Windows 10 or iOS 10. But then I found out that it was bricking the phones, and I'm going, oh shit, I already started it. All right, now my phone's not turning back on. There we go. Now, this is what really, I was a little peeved when reading those articles. But then Tim Kaine, I think it was yesterday, came out and said that Donald Trump's chumming around with the head of the Ku Klux Klan. Let me ask you a question. If it wasn't for CNN and MSNBC, the Klan and David Duke would get no goddamn airtime. The ones that keep the Klan in media, the ones that keep the Klan in popularity is CNN and MSNBC. They're the ones that keep bringing up the Klan and David Duke and giving him all this fucking airtime. Seems to me those two are the ones that want to keep everybody's mind on that deplorable and disgusting organization. Donald Trump is not the one that has a picture of him kissing a grand wizard. That would be Hillary Clinton. And they keep bringing this up in social media, and what happens? Everybody starts plastering that photo of Hillary kissing a grand wizard. So if I was her team, I'd be telling everybody to shut the fuck up on it. You're not changing. In fact, I've seen a couple of people that were bitching about it, Donald Trump, and when they see that picture, they went, uh-oh. Yeah, that's not good. And Tim Kaine, the jackass, you notice the notion that if you're chumming around with the head of the Ku Klux Klan or people who had that title, that's deplorable. You got to call that out. Hey, Tim Kaine, are you calling out Hillary Clinton, who praised a KKK grand wizard? No, you're not. And all this because Mike Pence declined to describe former KKK David Duke as deplorable. He called him some other names, but didn't call him deplorable. Because he didn't want to use Hillary's words. And they keep, Trump did not disavow. Bullshit! Within 2 hours, Trump was out there disavowing. All right, my phone didn't fry out. I'm good. I'm happy. I don't know what he has to do. You know what? They're not talking about the $20,000 KKK gave Hillary Clinton, are they? $20,000 went to Hillary Clinton. Any person can support anybody for any reason. The candidates have no control over that. And that's the one that really has me stumped. Because Hillary chose to go hugging and kissing on a grand wizard. Trump had no control over what dipshit did. And dipshit did not come out and say he supported Donald Trump. He came out and said that he agreed with what Trump was saying. And that a day or two later, he came out and supported Hillary Clinton. But, of course, Clinton News Network and MSNBC and their tight journalism forgot to report those facts. They forget to bring up about that. So, if it wasn't for lies and misdirection, Democrats would never get elected ever again. If everybody knew the truth about that disgusting, deplorable organization, they would never get elected again. And it should be shut down. I'm getting it. It's absolutely sickening, the organization is. It's just, who's the one that keeps giving the limelight and media spotlight to the KKK? CNN, MSNBC. They keep throwing David Duke and the KKK into the limelight. I don't get it. I don't get it. Well, it's their campaign. Kane's campaign is going down in flames. They don't want people talking that Hillary couldn't go out and campaign for several days. Oh, she's so brave. She out there campaigning so hard. Yeah, in August she did, 12 rallies in 31 days, while Trump did 32 in 31 days and taking, 2 or 3 days off. They're trying to take some of the heat and misdirect the conversation because Hillary is in trouble. Now there's WikiLeaks has released some documents that show that her questions of her health go way back all the way to 2015 when some of her supporters talked about how she couldn't even walk up to the podium. She had to be helped to the podium. This is not a woman that's sick. This is a woman. Now, this is not, got a common cold. She has some medical conditions. And I got told the other day it's none of my business about her health. The woman is running for president. It is our business. She is going to be leading the country. I want to know she is healthy. Now, Donald Trump, I think today, is supposed to be releasing his medical reports to show that he is healthy. It's funny, they're making us think and want Donald, and Donald's turning it over. But he's not the one with all the health issues that are prominent in the media. It's a distraction to try to take some of the issues off Hillary. Same shit, different day, people. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media, High Plains Pundit Radio, ICRN Network, Spreaker, YouTube, iTunes, and Red Nation Rising Radio. We will be right back.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
Now, Brownells, we know you may have only one shot to harvest that trophy, so we have thousands of accessories and replacement parts to improve your chances. We know how much you love to shoot, so our Gunsmiths articles and videos will help you do more and get more out of your guns. We also value your hard work and money. That's why only Brownells backs up everything we sell with a 100% unconditional lifetime guarantee. Brownells, the world's largest supplier of firearm accessories and gunsmithing tools.
My name is Chris Peranto, call sign Tonto. I was with the Global Response Staff. We were the security element for the Central Intelligence Agency in Benghazi, Libya on 9/11/2012. Myself and my team responded to an attack that killed Ambassador Chris Stevens, Sean Smith, and two of my teammates, Tyrone Woods and Glenn Doherty. Radical Islam is basically terrorism in a nutshell. It wants to not only put down Western values, it wants to kill anybody that supports those Western values, which is freedom, which is Christianity, and which is also anything that looks poorly on Sharia law. We've allowed it again to grow into something that it shouldn't be, and it's becoming stronger and stronger every day that we don't lead from the front. Obama and Hillary, by avoiding the phrase radical Islam, they're being politically correct. They don't see it for what it is, and that's straight up destroying the Western world. Radical Islam doesn't have a fear. They will give up their lives. They will detonate themselves. They will do anything they can to fulfill Sharia law and kill the infidels. If we're not able to even say radical Islam, the word radical Islam, there's no way we can fight it. There's no way we can defeat it. The United States of America doesn't lead from behind. We are always setting the example. If not, we're going to see terrorism get bigger and bigger, and eventually it's just going to be continual lone wolf attacks in the United States. And I don't want that to happen to my kids. I don't want to see my family go through that. Please join me in waking up Washington in this fight on radical Islam, seeing the threat that it really is. Sign up at leadingfromthefront.org.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
Listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. You didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean.
Dude, I'm not saying calf was stupid, bro.
Sackhead Clint.
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
Also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Mutt Show with its hosts, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the Reaver of Common Sense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date on everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I'm your host, Jersey Joe. And I'm making sense senseless, except when my damn camera doesn't focus. Come on. Damn it. It's either my camera's not focusing or I'm just fuzzy today. There we go. Finally got in focus. All right. Where are we at? One of the things, don't forget to go to Reaver.1. You can click on the shop button or just type in Reaver.1/shop. I got a lot of kick-ass t-shirts there, from Second Amendment to Pro Blue Lives Matter, anti-Hillary t-shirts, and I'm contemplating a new one. It's an American flag, but it's got the stars for the white part of the flag. It's the words from the Pledge of Allegiance, and that makes the lines on the flags. It's pretty cool looking at it. I don't know if I'm going to do it or not. I don't know. Let's see, where are we at? Oh, something unexpected came out. Carly Fiona has been running around doing some campaigning for many different campaigns, trying to help, which, no offense to her. See, I'm a little superstitious, and I'd be looking at her campaign failed. Then she went to Ted's failed. I don't know if I want her around me. And it's not her specifically. It's just, I don't see that she has the drawing power to do anything. But basically, she came out supporting Trump. She came out and said that we have to elect a President Trump, that we can't deal with a President Clinton again. So that's on some good news that's come about. For the most part, most of the candidates did what candidates do. They got their feelings hurt. They took some time off, put a little butt cream on, got back out there, and back to the candidate. It's really Jeb Bush, Ted Cruz, and John Kasich. They're the only ones that are still acting like little sissies that got their feelings hurt. Ted Cruz showed his true self. He's about himself. He's not about the country. He's about himself, and that's it. He doesn't care about anything else. So I lost all respect for that man and his actions during and after the primary, and he's done nothing to earn any of that back. All right. I'm quite excited. My phone didn't fry out. make sure everything works. Welcome home. It's saying I can control everything of my house from my phone. Oh. I have nothing at my house to control. Yeah, I thought so. I don't want my lights to be controlled from my phone. Heck with that. I don't want any of that shit controlled. So, let's get back to some of the news that's going on. And one of them is Katrina Pearson, Trump campaign spokesperson, was on CNN with Jake Tapper, addressing the continuous questions over the support from former KKK leader David Duke of Republican presidential nominee Donald Trump by explaining Trump had denounced Duke and adding the only reason Duke even has a platform is because CNN keeps talking about it. And this is a partial transcript, and it goes, Tapper, you heard what Governor Pence said last night on CNN, what he said today about using the word deplorable, and David Duke, who I think by any objective measure believes horrific, deplorable, racist, anti-Semitic things. The campaign said they do not want his support or support of people who think like him. Why not call him deplorable? The critics say that not doing so makes it look as though Trump campaign is trying to not offend white supremacists and nationalists. No, what it sounds like, Jake Tapper, is you're trying to make a story out of nothing. There's nothing going on here, and you're trying to make a story out of it. And Katrina Pearson is, I love this woman. I love her. She does not take shit from anybody, and she fires right back. And she goes on that Donald Trump has denounced Duke on a number of occasions. On the exact first day the words came out that he was supporting Mr. Trump, I believe CNN asked the question at press conference, and he shut it down immediately. The only reason David Duke even has a platform is because CNN keeps talking about it. Let me agree with something Tim Kaine said in that package there about if you ignore something, it grows and gets worse. That's absolutely right. That's exactly why we have ISIS today. For Hillary Clinton to call half of the people of this country deplorable, that's absolutely disqualifying her. It was half of Trump's supporters. She actually went after all of Trump's supporters by saying half are all those terrible names. Racist and sexist, homophobic, and the other half were just desperate. She has essentially called out 100% of Trump supporters. But I will say this is typical of the elite politician. If you don't agree with them, somehow you're a deplorable person, and that's what Hillary Clinton thinks of half of Americans. Tapper jumped in and said, well, she has backed off the words half. She said she shouldn't have said half, but said there is a basket of deplorable that support Donald Trump. Let's talk about some of them. Pence's interview last night has earned praise from white supremacists and neo-Nazis and other racists. David Duke told BuzzFeed it's good to see Pence start to reject this absolute controlled media. James Edward, a white supremacist radio host, said, bravo. The Daily Stormer, the neo-Nazi website, said the interview with Pence, Trump chose a solid guy to back him, it seems. Does it make you all uncomfortable to hear praise from people like that? Well, for number one, Trump's campaign cannot control what other people fucking say and do. Period. Tapper and CNN are trying to make an issue out of a non-issue. They're trying to help paint Trump as racist like liberals fucking do when they're losing. And that's all that's going on. Liberals are losing, so they start crying and screaming racist. Pearson went on to say, no, because you can't control what other people do. What makes me uncomfortable is when the father of a terrorist openly supports a presidential candidate, when somebody who simply wants to control the border is somehow a racist and or bigot. People who want to control illegal immigrations are labeled racist and bigot. People who want to stop ISIS from coming into their community are called Islamophobia. Or Islamophobic. Excuse me. These are hard-working American citizens, and I know Hillary Clinton and a lot of her friends do not live in a border state. Their children go to private schools. They don't have to live with the impact of illegal immigration like many of us in border states do. But to insult them based on insinuation is absolutely absurd. We could turn around and say, look at people supporting Hillary Clinton burning the American flag, defacing public property, violently protesting, calling for cops to be murdered in the street. Tapper interrupt Katrina. No one has called people who don't want ISIS to move into their neighborhood Islamophobic. That has never happened in the history of the world. Tapper, you got your fucking head up your ass. Plain and simple. It happens every day because that is all the Trump supporters are talking about. We don't care about the goddamn religion. We care about the extreme religion part of it. The one that's trying to kill us. The one that turns people into ISIS. Those are the ones we don't want in our country. But you twist words, Tapper. You are part of the problem, Tapper. You are the one that throws these terms around at people and helps expand it. So don't sit there and say it's never happened because you do it, Tapper. And Pearsons is right. She is head on because she goes on to say that is absolutely what they are talking about. If you speak out against it, if you speak out against open borders, if you speak out against massive immigration from the Muslim areas that have a high terrorist activity, we are Islamophobic. We are xenophobes. Just because we want to protect our country and our families. Tapper is such full of shit, it's not funny, because he keeps trying to go on and say, no, it's the people that don't want Muslims. No, that's not what we're saying. And then he wants to jump in about Senator Mike Lee. And Senator Lee and Cruz are still a bunch of pussies that are butthurt because Cruz didn't make it. The country rejected Cruz. Big deal. But Cruz and his butt buddy, Senator Mike Lee, are still crying away over it. You know, Mike Lee, it's Tea Party conservative red Republican. No, he isn't. He's labeled himself a libertarian. And he says that Mike Lee says that Trump is not doing enough to condemn these racist views. What the fuck more does Trump need to do? See, the problem is, little idiots like Mike Lee, Cruz, and all those others will spend months apologizing. Whereas Trump just says, not doing it, not me, and goes on. He doesn't play the games that makes Republicans lose. And that's how Republicans have been losing. They buy into this bullshit and sit there and chase it. But Pearson's response is he is also a never-Trumper who has never had anything nice to say about Mr. Trump. Really, this entire interview and all these interviews based around the one word deplorable is simply because the Trump campaign is not going to use Hillary Clinton's terminology. That's what we're talking about here. The campaign has disavowed Mr. Trump as well as Mike Pence said we do not like the support, want the support of individuals like this, but we can't control them. So Tapper, trying to be a smartass, says, well, yeah, okay, you don't want to use the word deplorable. Let's break out the thesis. Is David Duke vile? Acting like a fucking child there. And Pearson said, absolutely, and that's exactly why the campaign wants nothing to do with him. We have said that a number of times on a number of network, and the only reason David Duke gets play is because the media keeps him out there, not the Trump campaign. CNN, MSNBCs are the ones that keep David Duke's name in the media going and going and going and going. They're the ones that keep the KKK alive with free publicity. Trying to figure out what's going on with my phone. Looks like my lock's not working. All right, no, it is. Sorry about that. That's all they have. And if you notice, that's all that's coming out of the liberal media is they're trying to scream racist, cry racist, because the polls are showing Hillary going down in flames. So the only thing they have left in their bag of tricks is racism, racism, racism. Oh, wait a minute. That's not working. No, we don't know what to do. It's deplorable, I tell you. I'll tell you this. I when you call me a racist, when you tell me I'm deplorable, I put that on my shirt like a badge. I am proud. Because that's telling me you're losing. You have nothing else to talk about. The playbook of the Democrats is getting old. It's getting tiring. And it's getting to be the same shit over and over again. Playing like... There we go. Starting to play like Leapfrog. Trying to change some icons. It's I don't know where they think they're going with this. But I got a question for NPR. So NPR station publishes an anti-Trump comic for teachers and children to use in classrooms. So where's the anti-Hillary? I'm sure everybody would freak out if there was an anti-Hillary movement. And what they're doing is they are trying to indoctrinate our kids, even younger, to look down on Americanism. But they have published a comic book guide to Donald Trump's immigration policy aimed at students, which is titled Fear of Foreigners. It is not a fear of foreigners. And this is the misdirection and misinformation and outright fucking lies that the left have to perpetrate onto people to get reelected. Because it's not fear of foreigners. Fox right now is showing the reset button Hillary gave Russia, and both of them are all smiling. Let's push the button, reset. Well, yeah. But back to this comic, it's not fear of foreigners. We have no care about foreigners. It's how you come here. It's about how many are flooding. I'd hate to see what these idiots would have done after World War II when the United States shut down immigration because there was such a mass influx of immigrants in the United States. They felt they needed to shut it down for a while, and it ended up being decades, to give time for everybody to assimilate into the American way. And they cast Trump as part of the history of nativism in America. The comic book slideshow illustrated by Andy Warren is part of KQED series The Lowdown, described by the station as connecting newsrooms to classroom. That's not newsrooms, that's propaganda. And that's what NPR is pushing, propaganda. And is presented among lessons plans and education guides for teachers to use. The lesson consists of 12 panels, starting with 2 panels depicting the Republican presidential nominee commenting on Mexican immigrants and proposing to shut down Muslim immigration. It goes on to explain some Americans find his rhetoric alarming, but it follows a long tradition of anti-immigration public discord. Yeah. You know what I'm getting tired of? This anti-American sentiment amongst the left. I'm really getting tired of it. Then, oh no, I care about the country. No, you don't. All you do is talk shit about the history. Talk shit about how bad our country is. How we've been despicable all these years. How we've done all this wrong. Well, we can go into everything we've done right that you ignore and that you twist. And if we went into everything we've done wrong, we would have to talk, as I did earlier, about the Democrat Party. This is nothing more than a push of open borders. They're indoctrinating our kids into open borders. It's what they did in the European Union. And now you're seeing other exits being proposed. This is a push for a one-world nation. Never thought I'd believe in that crap, but let me tell you. Once you start looking at these policies, and Hillary said, I never said nothing about open borders. Yes, you have. She talked about allowing free flow between Mexico and the United States. She talked about giving amnesty to a bunch of illegals that came in here illegally. This book has panels tracing hostility to immigration from Ben Franklin in the mid-18th century to the know-nothings of the 1850s through the anti-Catholic KKK, the internment of Japanese Americans in World War II by FDR, and California's own Proposition 187 in 1994. The series misses important facts and dates and provides a little historical content. For example, it leaves out the Immigration Act of 1924, arguably the most important law restricting Jewish migrants in the interwar period, preferring to dwell instead on anti-Semitism by the KKK, Henry Ford, and Charles Lindbergh, which serves the purpose of demonizing America without actually explaining the anti-immigration backlash. And if America was so terrible to Jews who were fleeing real prosecution in Russia and elsewhere, why did they flock to the United States? Warner does not interrupt his indictment of America to explain. Nor does Warner mention the real problems on anarchism and communism amongst immigrant communities in the early 20th century. The illustration also fails to mention the problem of radical Islam among present immigrants from the Muslim world until a brief alert at the end. The nation remains on edge after recent ISIS-inspired attacks, and the series makes little effort to distinguish between legal and illegal immigrants, casting all hostilities to our present immigrant policy as the result of prejudice and economic insecurity, ignoring genuine public concerns over sovereignty, security, and rule of law. If they didn't have lies, they would never get elected. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media, High Plains Pundit Radio, ICRN Network, YouTube, iTunes, Speaker, and Red Nation Rising Radio. We will be right back.
Conservative media done right. You're listening to the SHR Media Network.
Now, Brownells, we know you may have only one shot to harvest that trophy, so we have thousands of accessories and replacement parts to improve your chances. We know how much you love to shoot, so our gunsmiths articles and videos will help you do more and get more out of your guns. We also value your hard work and money. That's why only Brownells backs up everything we sell with a 100% unconditional lifetime guarantee. Brownells, the world's largest supplier of firearm accessories and gunsmithing tools.
My name is Chris Peranto, call sign Tonto. I was with the Global Response Staff. We were the security element for the Central Intelligence Agency in Benghazi, Libya on 9/11/2012. Myself and my team responded to an attack that killed Ambassador Chris Stevens, Sean Smith, and two of my teammates, Tyrone Woods and Glenn Doherty. Radical Islam is basically terrorism in a nutshell. It wants to not only put down Western values, it wants to kill anybody that supports those Western values, which is freedom, which is Christianity, and which is also anything that looks poorly on Sharia law. We've allowed it again to grow into something that it shouldn't be, and it's becoming stronger and stronger every day that we don't lead from the front. Obama and Hillary, by avoiding the phrase radical Islam, they're being politically correct. They don't see it for what it is, and that's straight up destroying the Western world. Radical Islam doesn't have a fear. They will give up their lives. They will detonate themselves. They will do anything they can to fulfill Sharia law and kill the infidels. If we're not able to even say radical Islam, the word radical Islam, there's no way we can fight it. There's no way we can defeat it. The United States of America doesn't lead from behind. We are always setting the example. If not, we're going to see terrorism get bigger and bigger, and eventually it's just going to be continual lone wolf attacks in the United States. And I don't want that to happen to my kids. I don't want to see my family go through that. Please join me in waking up Washington in this fight on radical Islam, seeing the threat that it really is. Sign up at leadingfromthefront.org.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
Listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplansdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean,
Dude, I'm not saying cop for the stupid program.
Sackhead Clint,
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking, drinking, drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Mud Show with its hosts, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the Reaver of Common Sense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date on everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I am making sense out of the senseless. The Jersey Takeover's here. We have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can also catch a live broadcast if you go to Reaver.1 and click on the live stream. You can also, join the live chat while you're there. And last but not least, do you want to get a kick-ass t-shirt? You can go to Reaver.1/shop. Or if you're on the Reaver page already, just click on the shop button. Check out all the great t-shirts we have. And we got a nice guest that has called in. What's up, Crash?
Not much, other than the damn temperature. It's fucking hot as hell.
What is it, 77 degrees?
Up here, I think it's like in the mid-80s right now. We're going to probably hit like 90-something today.
Yeah, you missed the joke, didn't you? You missed the joke.
No, I didn't hear it.
Well, I said, is it 77 degrees? You got to remember, Sunday,
yeah.
Hillary Clinton, when it was 77 degrees, and it's hot!
Hey, anything above 70 degrees Fahrenheit is freaking tropical weather to me, goddammit.
I thought you... Oh, that's right. Yeah. Whiny.
Shut up.
We've been talking about a bunch of papers are still trying to push that deplorable comment Hillary made, and they're still trying to push it and how we're all racist. And it's almost funny. But
wait, which comment was this?
Hillary's comment, the deplorable comment. Did you not?
Oh, deplorable. Oh, didn't she call us all a bunch of crazy kooks or something like that?
Racist, sexist, xenophobic, Islamophobic, a couple other phobics.
Hey, easy. I'm not xenophobic. That was a halfway decent show. Costumes were awesome.
You dork.
Please tell me you got that.
Yeah, Xena, Princess Warrior. That's why I called you a dork.
Dork? Well, yeah, I am a dork.
But this one, actually, I thought you would, the perfect timing for you to call in. Princeton professor wants high school teachers teaching how to be an activist for illegal immigrants.
Dick needs to get his head out of his freaking sphincter and out of that job.
I don't understand where these liberals can't get the basic understanding of illegal immigration. They're criminals. Coming here legally. The right will open arms. If you're here legally, great. Come in for the American dream. Come here the proper way.
See, the problem is that I think they do get it, Why do you? Because if they didn't understand the whole illegal immigrants is illegal thing, then they would have no problem with the word. But they keep wanting to change it. No, they're not illegal. They're just undocumented. They're displaced. They're this. They're that.
Americans
they know
in waiting.
exactly what it is. They want them because it's fodder. It is their bread and butter. It's what's going to keep them in office, and they know it.
Well,
because
there's also a big push for open borders now, and, you know, you get them accepting these guys in the hearts and minds. You've pretty much got your open borders, and you don't have to worry about, you know, borders anymore, the immigration issue. You can flood the market with whoever you want, and as you flood the market with these immigrants and you allow them to become citizens, they're going to vote Democrat because they're the ones that, quote-unquote, fought for them, and that's who's going to get voted in time and time again. That's
the thing is, you go for the open border thing. It's funny. I just keep saying, look at Europe. Look at Europe. Okay, they did an open border thing. All right? I mean, essentially, you could travel just about anywhere in the EU without a problem as long as you were a member. Right? They did the whole, you know, just the whole system over there. It was great. It was phenomenal. It worked for a short period of time. Look at it now. It's collapsing. It's imploding. Yeah. And they're all trying to figure out why. Well, gee, wonder.
Because you've got the central government that telling what your country's going to do without your country having a say.
You end up having a central government that's dictating everything that has no ties to the people.
Yeah.
They don't have to answer to the people at that point. That's the whole problem with the centralized government or a world government or any of the rest of this stuff is you're putting a class of people above everybody else. It's essentially bypassing the whole electoral system. I mean, in all honesty, if people want to see how bad, I mean, even at a local level, look at a township. We elect the mayor. We elect people to town council. You and I have seen it. Township manager had the most power, hired person. He was an unelected individual, and he had more power than the elected mayor and town council combined.
It's scary as hell.
It bypasses the whole system. That's what they're, you know, in certain places, that's what they're after. I disagree with that. I will always go against that.
Oh, yeah. Well, you have a lot of countries. I think it's a race on which country will be voting next to leave the EU. But, you know, Germany, there's a lot of talk about it. Italy. There's a lot of countries that they were watching to see how Britain win. And, damn, Rice Rocket. There's a lot of countries that are that's just sitting back waiting to see how that went. Now that the vote went, you know, for exit, you got other countries that are lining up for it, and I think you got the collapse. And that's why they're saying now they have to do away with the individual countries and become one large country, the European Union, and do away with everything else because they know there's a collapse coming.
It doesn't work. I mean, the bigger something gets, the harder it is to control. It's always been that way. Our government has enough trouble, and that's the one thing I get the biggest kick out of locally. Our government has enough trouble trying to keep our own house in order, yet we're constantly going to the neighbor's house and telling them how to do stuff and bailing them out when they get it over their heads. We can't even keep our crap in line.
Yeah.
But we want to get it bigger. We want to expand it. We want more government, you can't keep track of what you've already got. I mean, if anything, they need to just, I'm not even going to say scale back necessarily, but just stop. Put the brakes on everything. Let's fix the problems we've got and then decide what the best path is. What should we do from there once we're stable? We're not stable.
No.
The last thing we should be doing is messing with everybody else's crap.
And we should be leading. I have no problem leading, but we shouldn't be telling other governments really exactly how to do it. And what's funny is that's what Hillary wants to do. I mean, she's directly responsible for destroying Libya. And it still pissed me off because she reiterated it the other night during the Commander-in-Chief that we did not lose anybody in Libya.
We didn't what?
We did not lose anybody in Libya.
Didn't lose anybody. So what? She just what is it, unpatrioted or whatever, all those people that died over there?
Well, I guess because we know where the bodies are, we didn't lose them. That would be her excuse.
She knows what okay.
I mean, that's the only thing I could think of, because we lost 4 Americans because of her failed policy.
And the problem is, I mean, and that's exactly it. It's like she's a paper leader. If it looks good on paper, then it must work, and she sticks with that, and she pushes those agendas.
Yeah,
she can never be wrong. She's always
that's
right.
the big problem.
And when everything goes wrong, it's, well, I had nothing to do with it. She backpedals. She dumps blame on other people. She tries to erase the evidence, and then when people start to push and press, then it's, oh, you're a conspiracy theorist. Oh, you're that. Really? You're going to go with a name calling?
No,
we're calling out facts, and you're just going to turn it into a slander contest. Well,
but no. She said she's going to run a clean campaign. She's not going to go into the negative. She's not going to go into the insulting. And she said this back in the primary, that if she wins, she's going to run a clean campaign and no personal attacks.
Well, she may not be personally attacking Trump, but she's personally attacking every goddamn supporter he's got.
Well, no. Also the other week, she apologized that she did lower herself to that, and she was going to turn her campaign around. And then she had the pneumonia twitching and falling. You know, I've never seen a pneumonia patient act like that before in my life.
I don't even know what you're referencing because I don't watch her. Anytime she pops up on TV, I turn off the damn station.
You didn't hear what happened Sunday at the 911 memorial?
Well, I turned off my phone.
Oh, no, you should have been on it.
Didn't turn it back on until
No,
Sunday.
you should have been on it. They had to literally drag her into a van. She collapsed because of the heat. First it was because of the heat. At 8:30, 9:30 in the morning, the heat got to her. She was leaning up against the post, twitching, barely able to keep herself up. Then when they went to walk her to the van, 2 men had to basically drag her into the van because she collapsed. They said it was the heat. Then, after 3 hours, she walked out of, and she went to her daughter's apartment, not a hospital. And she comes skipping out of the apartment, hugging all over a kid, and she's perfectly fine and chipper. Now it comes out, they say she has pneumonia, and that's what caused all this. You there?
Yeah, no, I'm here. I'm just shaking my head.
Now, you got to watch the video because it was a seizure. It was a seizure that she had.
She's just trying to deny another 9/11 event, that's all.
Well, what's funny is I just saw a meme that has a picture of one of the photographer that videotaped all this, and that's the thing, they can't deny any of it because it's all on video. And it says he's the guy who videotaped Hillary Clinton at the 9/11 memorial. He's going to shoot himself in the back of the head twice tonight.
Oh shit.
It's oh my God.
That's not right.
Oh, it's. Oh. But yeah, I'm surprised because it's been all over the media about her health because of that. But they're now saying she got diagnosed with pneumonia on Friday, and that's what caused her to play fish out of water. And I'm just sitting there like, what? Really? 20 plus years at EMS, and I've never seen a pneumonia patient act like that. And then 3 hours later, walk out of an apartment like nothing happened.
No, because the closest form of pneumonia that could be would be something like walking pneumonia or something like that. And pneumonia does not have a 3-hour recovery window.
Even heat exhaustion does not have a 3-hour window.
Walking pneumonia is one of the worst ones you can get. It knocks your ass out, essentially. You need a crapload of antibiotic and rest. And that's really all you can do for it. You don't bounce back and forth between, Christ.
I know. It's.
Oh my God. She had pneumonia.
And then Bill Clinton, and they've edited the tape, but after they got caught editing it, they put out the real one where Bill Clinton says, yes, she's a hard worker and she gets dehydrated all the time. That's what's wrong. She gets dehydrated. I've never seen that woman not drinking water because she's coughing all the time, so she's always drinking. Oh, and this is how they said. She had allergies, which was causing her to cough, which led her into pneumonia.
Leads to cough, leads to pneumonia.
And also, don't forget, she was taking so much antihistamines that also helped cause. I think someone needs to have that doctor's paperwork investigated. Because I'm wondering if this person is really a doctor.
No.
I'm being sick. I mean, this person, it scares me. It's like, holy shit, they're a doctor?
I don't know.
Oh, and someone on Twitter asked me what why I was talking about this. Am I an expert in medical? That was funny.
Hey, say that again?
Someone on Twitter, because I was talking about this with the health, and said, what are you, some kind of expert on medical? Or something to that effect.
Yes, he is.
I just started laughing. I was like, 20-plus years as an EMT. Yeah, I know a little thing or two about medical.
Well, see, now the thing is, define expert. Everybody's got their own definition of it.
Well, according to liberals, all you have to do is teach 3 classes, and you're an expert.
Oh, man, what the hell would I be then? I teach all the damn time.
I know. It's...
Oh, my God. What are you, yeah, to a degree when it comes to emergency medicine, yeah, the guy would qualify as an expert. He's been around the crop long enough. He's got more than enough education in it and plenty more street time. He's got bunch of more experience than you.
Oh, and to back it up, Hillary also had to cancel. Well, the events weren't canceled. She had to take herself off the campaign. She still, I think she goes back tomorrow. Bill Clinton picked up and did a couple of dates for her, and Obama jumped in and did some dates. But my dad has one question, and it just reminded me of it. If Hillary Clinton is doing so good, and if she's so great, why does she need Bill Clinton, President Obama, Vice President Biden, and all these other people going out speaking for her, and then you have Donald Trump going out and speaking for himself?
Good point.
Why does she need all these people jumping into her campaign to help her if she's doing so great? And I looked at my father. I was like, God damn it, you're right again.
That's a good one. I never thought of that. That's a good one.
The whole month of October, Obama said he's cleared a schedule. He's going to do nothing but campaign for Hillary, which is also now asking.
Obama's going to be running around campaigning for her instead of doing his damn job.
And he's going to be running Air Force One at the cost of American people to campaign for Hillary.
So hold on. Let me get this straight. Let me get this straight. Okay. So President Obama is going to be using taxpayer funds and to run a campaign for Clinton for a month. Perfectly acceptable. Governor Christie used some taxpayer funds and some of his own funds and was running on his own ticket to try to be the presidential nominee. Completely inappropriate. He should have resigned. He shouldn't be using any public resources. Yep. Not about right. So a Republican doing something at a lower degree is completely wrong. A Democrat doing it at the highest degree, completely acceptable behavior.
Yep.
I just wanted to make sure I had that understood correctly.
Oh, my God. I just came across a new article. and you're absolutely right, and I don't mean to change subject on you.
Oh, no, go ahead.
So there's more DNC leaks. More files have been released. So the big idea of the DNC chair, temporary chair, vice chair, Donna Brazil says, don't open it. It has it has malware in it. Don't open it and read it. You'll infect your computer. It has malware.
What has malware?
The new DNC leaks files. You know, they've been leaking files for years now. WikiLeaks has been. And there's no malware. Okay. But because it's such damning, because they've already hired attorney and experts, they're trying to figure out how they can fight it. So their big idea is to say it has malware so you don't read it.
Gotcha.
And I know people have already looked into it and they don't have malware. And what's popping up is pretty damning. So it's got to be pretty good. There's got to be a lot more information in there if the DNC is trying to pull that. Oh my God! Don't open it. It's got malware. That's the.
I know they've been trying to take legal action against it and put a stop to it with, through judicial channels.
There's nothing they can do. Really, what are you going to do? I mean, they already hacked you. Oh yeah, we're going to have a court stop them. They already broke the law by hacking and taking that information. I'm not saying it's good or bad. I'm just saying they did it. And now, oh, God, my head hurts.
Actually, the true irony with all of that, in my opinion, is, wasn't it was one of Clinton's big things, and she was, I believe, Secretary of State at the time. Or, if nothing else, she was a big supporter of his. About all the government transparency and enough of this hiding stuff, and we're going to be transparent. We'll comply with more Freedom of Information Act requests. They've done more to hide shit than any past administration has.
Oh, yeah, it is. It's unbelievable. They just want to hide everything and say, look, we're transparent. About as transparent as a concrete wall. It drives me up a wall. It's just, there's a lot of damning information. There's letters from supporters asking about Hillary back in 2015, asking if she's actually going to be able to make it because she couldn't even walk up the steps to get to a podium. There is so much information in there so far. People are scouring over it. I haven't had time to get on it yet, but holy shnikes.
There's a lot of crap in there.
Oh, yeah. I'm trying to pull up some information right now. What time is it? We're almost to break. How they were, Democrats were playing games with the districting, and they had been working with these companies that deal with the voting districts. How they were in cahoots with these companies to redistrict all of the United States so that the Democrats would get the majority. The companies that these courts would have help setting them up to do these districts, the DNC was in bed with them.
None of that's surprising.
No, but it's how they were going to, if they lost the election, they were going to lock up the Senate and everything, nothing but into judicial courts. DNC was planning to overturn GOP House majority by using the Latinos as a wedge. The Democrats have secret links to companies that produce legislation redistricting software. DNC plan to destroy the GOP House majority through nonstop litigation. There's a lot of damning information of how they're trying to mess with the United States just so that they can get a majority so they can do whatever the hell they want.
Yeah, now, and again, back to the irony of the whole situation, they threw temper tantrums when the Republicans filibuster or block something, they always say, well, the Republicans are unwilling to work, and, this is ridiculous, they should be doing their jobs, blah, blah, blah. But when the shoe's on the other foot, again, perfectly acceptable behavior for them to use the exact same tactics. Come on.
Yeah, I agree.
How are people going to realize this? I mean,
I don't know.
Part of the problem is I think more and more people are realizing all this.
I really do.
Part of the reason for, let's push for, the undocumented immigrants to be able to vote. Let's keep driving wedges into these communities. Promote BLM and promote this and that. It's like, honestly, I swear to God, she's using Siegfried and Roy as consultants. Here, look over here. They do a sleight of hand. And it's amazing how many people are, they're going for it.
Yeah, it's...
Christ. The media is honestly one of the biggest things. What was it? What was it, 2 weeks ago, with that bonehead from 49ers?
Kaepernick?
Kaepernick, yeah.
Kaepernick?
Yeah, that was like a week or 2 weeks ago when that whole thing first blew up, right? That was all over the news. That was all over social media. That was everywhere. Yet how many people know about the pipeline that was being protested in the Dakotas? It was going to be going across Native American grounds. They were protesting it. They were trying to put a stop. Protests even got violent with guard dogs attacking protesters. They called out the National Guard to be on standby. Never saw any of that on mainline news.
I've seen it here and there, but nothing major.
Yeah, nothing major. Yet that was going on. Now, every other time there's been a protest, when there was protests, on the other side, those were all over the place. The ranchers were protesting that their lands were being taken away, and, they were exercising their Second Amendment rights. Now, I don't completely agree with all the tactics that they used, but, man, that was blasted everywhere.
Well, the thing is, they didn't want it in the media because that is sort of what Lavoie and that whole BLM issue, and they couldn't go against them on this because it's American Indian, so they just keep quiet about it. Listen, we'll get more on that after the break. You're listening to the Reaver of Common Sense right here on SHR Media, High Plains Pundit Radio, ICRN Network, Speaker, YouTube, iTunes, and Red Nation Rising. We will be right back.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
Now, Brownells, we know you may have only one shot to harvest that trophy, so we have thousands of accessories and replacement parts to improve your chances. We know how much you love to shoot, so our gunsmiths articles and videos will help you do more and get more out of your guns. We also value your hard work and money. That's why only Brownells backs up everything we sell with a 100% unconditional lifetime guarantee. Brownells, the world's largest supplier of firearm accessories and gunsmithing tools.
My name is Chris Peranto, call sign Tonto. I was with the Global Response Staff. We were the security element for the Central Intelligence Agency in Benghazi, Libya on 9/11/2012. Myself and my team responded to an attack that killed Ambassador Chris Stevens, Sean Smith, and two of my teammates, Tyrone Woods and Glenn Doherty. Radical Islam is basically terrorism in a nutshell. It wants to not only put down Western values, it wants to kill anybody that supports those Western values, which is freedom, which is Christianity, and which is also anything that looks poorly on Sharia law. We've allowed it again to grow into something that it shouldn't be, and it's becoming stronger and stronger every day that we don't lead from the front. Obama and Hillary, by avoiding the phrase radical Islam, they're being politically correct. They don't see it for what it is, and that's straight up destroying the Western world. Radical Islam doesn't have a fear. They will give up their lives. They will detonate themselves. They will do anything they can to fulfill Sharia law and kill the infidels. If we're not able to even say radical Islam, the word radical Islam, there's no way we can fight it. There's no way we can defeat it. The United States of America doesn't lead from behind. We are always setting the example. If not, we're going to see terrorism get bigger and bigger, and eventually it's just going to be continual lone wolf attacks in the United States. And I don't want that to happen to my kids. I don't want to see my family go through that. Please join me in waking up Washington in this fight on radical Islam, seeing the threat that it really is. Sign up at leadingfromthefront.org.
Breaking news. According to the latest report coming out of SHR Media, a merchandise store to support both the Reaver of Common Sense and SHR Media has just been unleashed to the general public. Be forewarned that this site can be contagious and numerous items can be purchased to support the best news programming. Go to Reaver.one website and click on the store link to check out the merchandise.
Listening to Reaver of Common Sense, hosted by my dad, Jersey Joe. Beware, the Jersey Takeover is here. Every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can catch the Reaver of Common Sense show, hosted by Jersey Joe, right here on shrmedia.com and highplainsdailynews.com. Only Jersey can deliver hell like no one else, so consider this your fair warning.
In a world controlled by corrupt politicians,
You got a business. That you didn't build that.
a team of ordinary men emerge from the ashes to give voice to the voiceless and hope to the hopeless. Sackhead Sean,
Dude, I'm not saying cop for the stupid pro.
Sackhead Clint,
All good friends of ours usually show up drunk.
also starring Sacco as the producer.
I'm a little bit drunk, 'cause I'm drinking.
They are the Sackheads Radio Show. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific on shrmedia.com.
Every Wednesday night, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch the Southside Mutt Show with its hosts, the Jersey Boys, Jersey Joe and Crash, right here on SHR Media and High Plains Pundit Radio, where we will be digging up the dirt.
Times are dark. The people misled by corrupt politicians, lied to by establishment media, and deceived by the false messages of Islam. A nation in confusion needs a guide. It needs a man with a cane. I'm Dave Milner. Join me on Spreaker, SHR Media, High Plains Talk Radio, Live Rebooting Liberty, and YouTube for a unique brand of commentary on the unpleasant blind guide. Because truth is not always pleasant.
If you miss a show, don't worry. You can catch the replays two ways, rebootingliberty.com or the reverofcommonsense.com. While you're there on Reaver of Common Sense, don't forget, drop in your email and keep up to date on everything going on, or click the like button on the Facebook widget. Now on to the Reaver of Common Sense.
Listening to the SHR Media Network.
This show contains language that some viewers may find offensive. Listener discretion is advised. And now on to the show. And welcome back to the Reaver of Common Sense show. I am your host, Jersey Joe, and I'm trying to make sense out of the senseless. The Jersey Takeover is here. We have expanded to 2 hours every Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you want to watch a broadcast Go to Reaver.one, click on the live stream. While you're there, pick yourself up a kick-ass t-shirt and just hit the shop button. Or you can just go to Reaver.one/shop. That's REAVER.one/SHOP. Yeah.
Idiot.
Now, let's see where we are at. Oh, did I tell you about the t-shirts for Southside Months?
That you sold some?
Yeah.
Yeah, you told me about that.
Okay. Well, it's kind of news.
Yeah, I think it was your big news release last week or something.
Oh, okay. That whole press conference I held. Oops. I know I forgot to do something. There we go. All right. This one I wanted to talk about too. And I'm pretty sure your head's going to, explode. Obama seeks the ratification of the UN Arms Trade Treaty before leaving office. This thing has been shot down, kicked to the side so many times, but yet he's going to try to push it again before he leaves office.
Of course he is.
Now,
he wants that thing ratified. He wants that in place so that
the UN can control our guns.
Yeah, of course he does. Clinton wants the same damn thing.
But the problem is, our Constitution overrides it and tells it to go fuck itself, basically. And that's why the biggest problem that I see with it, so if the ones that don't know about the United Arms Trade Treaty, this treaty would threaten individual firearm ownership, invasion of registration scheme, and is full of regulations and requirements that are blatant attacks on the constitutional right of every law-abiding American. The treaty does this in part by urging record-keeping of end user, directing importing countries to provide information to an exporting country regarding arm transfer, including end user or end user documentation for a minimum of 10 years. It also stops importing and exporting of firearms between countries, which means we won't be able to get certain types of weapon, Glocks, AK-47s.
Glock, AK-47, Benali.
Springfield, I think it is. I can't remember. Springfield's a U.S. or foreign company.
Well, Springfield was always U.S., but they might have outsourced it now. But Springfield Armory was a U.S. Armory originally.
It's my apologies about that. It's just there's so many of them out there. But, yeah, it would stop a lot of import of weapons.
See, Mossberg is Mossberg is Texas, but Rossi, which I believe Mossberg owns, is they're overseas. Rossi Firearms. So it's kind of like I guess a cheaper model. They pretty much only do break action type stuff. But they the outside. A lot of this stuff is. But now, correct me if I'm wrong. Doesn't this also expand to the ammunition as well?
Yeah.
The import of ammunition. And that one end up even being bigger because that's where most guys get their surplus ammo comes from overseas. A lot of it comes from, Wolf, that's overseas. Kanzari, something like that, that's overseas. You've got all the surplus Eastern Bloc stuff for the AK-47s, the SKSs, the Mosins, all that stuff that came out of Russia. That's all over. I mean, you would essentially you would make the market so restrictive that prices in the U.S. would skyrocket to the point where nobody would ever be able to afford to pull a trigger.
Exactly.
And that's what they want. I know that's what they want.
Yeah, that's what they're after. It's a backdoor ban, and that's a lot of saying that it can't go through because it's in direct conflict with our Constitution.
What's that called? A de facto ban, I think is what it's called. A de facto ban is what they're going for. They know they can't actually say the words, we ban this, so they use control. And they just put control to the point where it chokes everything off, other than a trickle. So, no, I did not actually cut off your airway. I just restricted it down to the size of the straw.
Yeah, it's... But the big problem I have with Hillary also, I have a problem with her Second Amendment stance, but what scares me is her comments of all constitutional rights the government can restrict or govern. That is in direct conflict of why we have the Constitution. The Constitution's there so that the government cannot control those basic rights.
The whole point behind the Bill of Rights.
Yeah. Now she's saying that all of them...
That's always why they keep adding them. In the Bill of Rights, you got the original, and then they've been added to over the years as the government has seen additional protections are needed for the people. To protect them from other people, to protect them from the government, to protect them from whatever. I mean, honestly, it's gotten to the point where I think it's just stupid. I mean, now, Christ, they're passing laws to protect me from sugar.
But to have her say, I mean, it's what? Certain people are only going to be allowed to get a fair trial. Only certain people will have free speech.
Yep, right to non-self-incrimination, right to remain silent, free speech, freedom of religion, freedom of expression. Yeah, they're going to limit all that down. So what?
It's scary.
Honestly, it's scary as shit. Yeah, thank you. Scary as shit.
And that's... shit, hold on.
I'm sorry, that's the only thing I can see. Her becoming president, the only thing I see that as is an Obama extension.
Oh, yeah. I mean, she is going to be...
I mean, hands down. That's what it is. And she just...
The... Brain fart, holy shit. I said it earlier today, and I'm going to say it again, that the only way that Democrats get elected anymore is through lies and deception. If people knew exactly what they were going to do and what they were about, they would never get voted in again.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm also going through...
That's absolutely true.
It's...
And it keeps happening, and that's the thing. One of the biggest things they love to do is the sleight of hand. It's, here, look over here. We're going to distract you with this, and then we're going to do this. And the flip-flop. I'll say whatever I need to say to get in, and once I'm in, I'm going to do whatever the fuck it is I want to do. Now, I'm not going to say that Republicans are innocent of that because they pull some of the same crap.
Oh, I've never said that Republicans are innocent. They have their own issues. But, but
right now, the scales are definitely tipping towards the left.
But if you look through the history, everything bad about the United States during our history, who's been in charge of it? The Democrats.
No.
And they have to hide and lie and steal to make themselves look anywhere electable. He's just after, they're just after, because if they have a country that is not armed, they cannot protect themselves. So, on a bit of good news with Katie Couric is being sued for $12 million for defamation and anti-gun documentary. For those that don't know, Katie Couric had made a anti-gun documentary under the gun in order to make gun, and what she did is she edited it to make this gun group in Virginia look as if they couldn't answer a simple question. The problem is they answered it within like seconds and authoritatively. So they twisted the facts on this quote-unquote documentary. I mean, it got yanked real quick from several stations, won't play it. So now this group is suing Katie Couric and the director for $12 million for defamation. I mean, they misrepresented the facts. Plain and simple.
Yeah, what was her original defense on that? It was, what was it?
She blamed it on the director at first.
Well, yeah, at first she blamed it on the director. She had nothing to do with it, blah, blah. She tried that whole thing. And then it's a movie industry term, creative license or something like that, where they can manipulate it to make it appear one way even though it didn't. I think it's some type of creative thing that's like an industry term. I think she tried using that one at one point. Problem is, it's supposed to be a damn documentary. It's supposed to be representing this is what's happening, not, this is what I want to have happen. If that's the type of movie she wanted to do, then that should have been her intent.
Yeah, but then you make sure you don't say it's a documentary, that you're going to twist things.
Exactly.
And that's the problem.
The group will probably still be pissed, but the problem is everybody will turn around and look at it and go, well, it's not a documentary.
Yeah.
It's meant to be theatrical. It's meant to be this. It's meant to be that. You say documentary, well, it's meant to be factual and true.
And just that simple tone, that simple thing of the movie,
they're never going to get their payout on that. And I think we all know that. But I love the fact that that they're slamming them.
Yeah,
I'm so tired of this whole, and it's honestly, when it comes to a lot of our rights, and I'm not even just going to say gun rights, I'm going to say a lot of them. That's a big thing that a lot of us have taken for granted. We take for granted the rights that we have.
Yep.
And when there's push, we kind of a lot of people, they just sit back, oh, well, okay, I'll concede that point. Well, it's not that big of a deal right now. But with every step, they gain ground. And once you've got enough, it's very, very easy to push over the precipice.
Yep.
And that's the whole reason why I say, don't keep your mouth shut. Speak up.
And I'm very much. It pisses me off when people say, well, there's nothing I can do about it. Yes, there is. There's voting. That's a very easy one and a very big one. Make sure you vote. Well, it doesn't matter. No, it isn't. Otherwise, we wouldn't have Trump.
What was it? There was...
well, hang on. Write and call your congressman. Any of your political leaders. Lambaste them with phone calls. It is their job to listen to you. It is their job for you to call them. And I've gotten that through on a couple people because they always said there's nothing I can do. Yes, there is. There's always. And being quiet about it has allowed our country to get to the point we are in now. That is why we are where we are now. Because everybody went, nothing I can do. I'll be quiet.
There was it wasn't a press conference. I guess it was kind of like an open hearing. It was like one of those town hall conference type setup deals. It was a little ways back, and I want to say it was in Texas. It's definitely Southwest. For some reason, Texas keeps popping in my head. But this lady was given a very well organized speech about gun rights, and this, that, and the other thing. Well, she made a statement in there. We have three ways to have our voices heard: the soapbox, the ballot box, and the ammo box.
Yeah.
Well, now, of course, the council turns around and takes off. They immediately jump up. Oh, you're threatening us!
Oh, yeah, that's...
You got to love when they do that. But, she's right. The soapbox, being heard, speaking up, calling the congressman, writing a letter, have your voice be heard. If nobody's listening, fine. The ballot box, vote their asses out. Vote somebody else in. Again, make your voices heard. Now, the funny thing is, as soon as you say ammo box, everybody immediately jumps to, oh, God, you're going to shoot everybody. That's not what it is. I'm sorry. It's a deterrent. That's what it is. It's a deterrent. That ammo box, it's a deterrent.
Yeah.
It's even been documented that during World War II, a main factor why Japan was off our coast. They were off our coast, and a main reason
Germany
why
was too.
Mainland invasion was because behind every blade of grass there's an American with a rifle. Yeah. It's a freaking deterrent, not a goddamn shot. Okay, well, no, I can't say no shots were fired stateside because there was conflict in Alaska. There was, some stuff did transpire up there. But, again, it's just people like to jump to these stupid-ass extremes, and I do not get it. I'll never get it.
All right. This is totally off subject, but I saw this and it made me giggle. For those that don't know, I'm a huge fan of Black Label Society. I'm a huge fan of Zakk Wylde. He's another New Jersey boy. I love his sound. I love his music. So he put on Twitter, when somebody says unnice things to you. Just say thank you. I just felt something dripping from my love cannon. I'm going to use that, and that's going to shut some people up because you don't know what to say to that one.
Oh, God. I was watching, again, completely off topic, but I was just messing around on YouTube. I don't know. I was being nostalgic, whatever. And I was messing around looking up video clips from the Rescue Me series.
Oh, God.
Yeah, just looking at, the goofy clips out of that. And there was one where they're in like one of the two battalion chiefs are in a higher up chief's office, and they're going back and forth, and the head chief he starts going about, he's like, you think you can come into my office and threaten me and boss me around? And the younger guy was, oh, no, sir, I've seen the footage. I don't think I can. I know I can. Do you feel that on your head, buddy? You just got shit on. And then he grabs his cap and walks out. The other chief's just like, oh, we'll talk later. I fucking lost. I was laughing so goddamn hard. I had completely forgotten about that episode. That was just such a... I mean, the little guy's got to stand up. Just because somebody has been in a position for 25 or 30 years or 4 months does not mean they know everything, does not mean they're the best at it. And elections are not won by who's the best. They're won by who's got the most goddamn money.
Not exactly.
That's why I said for the most part.
Because Hillary's outspending Trump by massive amounts, and...
Oh, I know.
It's not equaling the results.
No, I know. But if you look at... I'm not talking just presidential election. I mean, I'm saying, even at, the local level, you're talking electing a town council. It all comes down to who puts the most publicity out there, who puts the most slander on the other guy, who's got, honestly, at the end, most of the times, it's who's got the most name recognition. I mean, the sad thing is, you ask a lot of voters, and they vote for the one they recognize. That's been my personal experience.
Someone actually, because I said the same thing. I was wondering when the Hillary campaign was going to blame Russia for her health issues. But the person put up, back in 2008, the Democrats were adamant Russia was not a threat. If you remember, Obama made fun of, actually it was 2012, Obama made fun of Mitt Romney, saying, that 1980s called, they want their Cold War back. And that's almost a direct quote of what Obama said. Now, in 2016, Russia is responsible for everything, according to the Democrats.
Well, shoot, what was it when the annexation of Crimea? Initially, Obama's stance on that whole thing was he's just flexing muscle. It's not a threat. It's not going to be a big deal, blah, blah, blah. Remember, that was the original stance.
Yep.
The original stance was, this is nothing. It's a blurb. It's never going to go anywhere. Russia, he's trying to exert some control. He's trying to exert some power that he doesn't have. It's posturing. Well, it looks like you called your bluff, bud.
Yep.
And I'm not saying I agree with Putin. I'm not saying I like the guy. I'm just saying that, what? You underestimated the SOB.
Well, I hate to interrupt you, but it's that time. It's actually that time.
Holy crap.
Exactly. Don't forget, tune in tonight at 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time for the Southside Mutts, where we will continue this conversation. I appreciate you calling in, Crash. I really do.
Yeah, no problem, brother. I will chat with you tonight.
Yeah. So, to everybody else, I want everybody to have a great day, and see you tonight. Yeah. Peace. I hate when I don't get that file ready in time. You've been listening to the Reaver of Common Sense with its host, Jersey Joe. You can tune in every day, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on hppundit.com and shrmedia.com.